Okay, mental math part 2. Before I start, I would like to dedicate this video to Mr. Eli Zaidan, my friend, because I promised him to do that, and for my daughter Elisa, that she's waiting to do this video after she did the first video and enjoyed that. Okay, percentages. Uh, let's say in everything in mathematics, in any numbers, dealing with numbers, makes us do some formulas to make things easier and faster. Before doing that, let me start like 15% of 100. Let me give you some easy example. Usually, we do it as 15 divided by 100 times 100, right? So 100 over 100 cancel. What left is 15, and this is the answer. And this is uh, uh, logical, right? Because it's 15% of 100. 15 of 100 is 15, right? So that's why this one was easy. Let's do another one. Let's do another example like 15% 15% of 120. I'm trying just to use for the 15% over here to make formula for the 15%. Let's say 15% of 120, it's 15 divided by 100 times 120. What we are doing is we're dividing this, right? The numerator and the denominator by the same number, which is 10. Okay, and then we're doing what? 15 times 12, 180. That's what we usually do at class, or if we want to solve percentage problem. Divided by 10, divided by 10, the answer is 18. Okay, how we ended up with these answers? The formula we can distinguish here is if we're finding 15%, I'm always talking about 15% of any number, 15% of any number, we just do what? We just divide the number by 10, and then the result add half of the number. And this is easy. Half of the number. So we divide the number by 10 and we add half of the number. We go back to 15%. Always when we have 15%, we do that. We divide by 10 and we add half of the number. The first number was 15% of 100. If we took 100 and we divide it by 10, we will end up with 10. Now, what is 10 plus its half? What is the half of 10? It's 5. So the answer is 15. Correct. Let's try the 120. Let's try the 120. 120. Since we are finding the 15% of 120, so we do what? We divide the 120 over 10. We end up with 12. And what is the half of 12? It's 6. So the answer is 12 plus 6, which is 18. Same answer. So 15% is simple now. It's simple. We don't need even to write on the board or on our copybooks. We can directly find it mentally. And this is the purpose of this kind of videos, right? Let me try to do something also interesting. Let me see like 15%, right, of 120. What we did is the same thing. We did divide the number by 10 when we simplified 120 and 100. This means we divided the 120 by 10 and we ended up with this number 12. We ended up with this number 12, right? So we're doing the same thing, right? We're doing 12 and we are multiplying 12 by what? By 15 over 10. We are multiplying 12 by 15 divided by 10. That's true. If we simplify 15 over 10, we end up with 12 times 1.5, right? 15 divided by 12 is 1.5. So we are doing what? We are multiplying 12 by 1, then we are multiplying 12 by 0.5. This means we're having 12 plus its half. 12 plus its half. So we can find formula useful for us to use it each time we have 15%. Let's try. You can try at home yourselves some more examples. Let's go to do 20%. If we have 20% of a number, let's say 20% of 80. What is 20% of 80? Classical way, we do 20 divided 100, which is 20%. Of means times 80. We do what? Divided by 10. We can divide it by 10 again. Okay, we ended up with 2 times 8 only, which is equal to 16. So it's 2 times 8 equals 16. Let's try another number. What is 20% of 150? So it is equal to 20 divided by 100 times 150 divided by 10, divided by 10, we end up with 2 times 15, 30. How we find again these numbers? We can do a formula. Each time we have to find the 20% of a number, we divide, same thing. We divide the number, we need to find a part of it, which is percentage of it, divide the number by 10 first, and the result, we multiply it, we multiply the result by 2. Instead of dividing, instead of adding its half, we just multiply the result by 2. Let's see if this works. Again, what is 20% of 80? What is 20% of 80? We started with 80, right? We take the number, we divide it by 10. We divide it by 10. We ended up with 8. And we said we should multiply the result by 2. What is 8 times 2? It's 16. So it's correct. Let's try the second one. We had 150, right? First we do what? We divide the 150 by 10. We ended up with 15. Directly we multiply the 15 by 2. We get the answer, which is 30. So 15%, 20%, we can do them that fast. I have a little bit more time to do more. So let's do the 5%. Let's do the 5%. What is 5% of 30? Okay, 5% times 30. 0, 0 cancel, divided by 10, numerator and denominator. We end up with 15 divided by 10, so the answer is 1.5. Let's find another one. 15% of, let's say 70, right? Which is equal 5 over 100 times 70. 0, 0 cancel. And 5 times 7, 35 divided by 10, it's 3.5. Same, how we got these answers. The formula I found is we divide, same thing, the number, we divide the number by 10 and divide the result. We divide the result by 2. We divide the number by 10 and then we divide the result by 2. First we had 30. If we divide 30 by 10, we end up with 3. What is 3 divided by 2? Half of 3. It's 1.5. Same. 70. We divide it by 10, we got 7. What is 7 divided by 2? The answer is 3.5. So both are correct. You can try to do percentage mentally now. We don't have time. 50%, I don't want to talk about it because 50% is easy. Let's see if I can. The video has just few seconds. 50% of any number, right? 50% of any number is half of this number. 50% of any number is half of the number, directly half of the number. Let's say 50. I want to find 50% of 162. The answer will be 81 directly, because